Hello, nerds, and welcome. We are crossing the Nerdverse, here bringing you yet another episode. My name is Travis. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic co-hosts, Eric, Clark, and Ryan. This week, we're going to be talking about... Clark, what's our topic? What are we...
We are discussing what you are watching, reading, playing, and what we are excited for coming up on the slate as we're getting ready for the holiday season. Kind of what are the good games we can expect, because usually around the Thanksgiving timeline is when a big rush of games come out, because as children, we all get that holiday winter break, and as adults, we just take that as PTO. Or just don't show up.
Well, some of you take that as PTO. I'm not getting the holiday break off. I am getting Christmas off before people start freaking out. I will be getting Christmas and New Year's off. I just don't get any days in between. But that's a subject for a different conversation and not the podcast. You guys don't want to hear me talk about how work sucks and I want to stay at home and be a child and play video games all day. So,
I mean, don't we all?
I would love to do nothing but just like sit at home and play video games. Not even be a streamer, just to sit at home and just be like...
You'd be a great streamer, Travis.
I would. I'm not gonna, but I would.
You would get kicked off so fast.
Oh yeah, like I would have my first rage moment and people would be reporting me. They'd just be like, this guy said some stuff that we didn't even know was a curse word.
He's just making it up.
Yeah, he's just making up new words, but they sound awful.
It's not even English.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I
we're
can curse
also
in German. I'm pretty good at that too. Maybe that'll get me past the censors.
So we have to say hi to Twitter too. I don't know if you did. Sorry, I was like turning everything on while the show was turning on.
It's not called Twitter anymore. It's X.
Or X. Yeah, X.
I refuse to call the streaming portion of X streaming because that seems really weird. Like, that just makes me uncomfortable. Yeah,
makes me think of a Vin Diesel movie.
Triple X.
Really
Thank you for saying that.
It was so hard to Google that movie.
And not the Ice Cube movie.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, he
was
wasn't
weird
one of those, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the sequel.
It was a Triple X.
Or was he in
weird.
He was in Quadruple X.
Wasn't it like Vin Diesel, Ice Cube, and then Vin Diesel again?
I have no idea. I didn't watch the first one.
Vin Diesel, Ice Cube.
No, I think it like I don't remember.
I just remember the snowboarding scene from Triple X where he like starts the avalanche and like comes down. And as a kid, I was like, "This is the coolest shit. I need to go start an avalanche to do this because I used to snowboard."
Triple X is just Point Break, but from like Wish.
Oh, but in snow. And much less weed, I think. Never gonna put me in a cage, man.
You can't beat Keanu Reeves and what's his name? The handsome fella.
Oh, I love the handsome fella.
Why am I blanking on his name? Guys, somebody
say
Swayze? Patrick Swayze, thank you.
Ah, the Sways.
I was about to be like, the guy who was dancing with Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live. I can name every film he's been in. Like,
Ghost,
his name was just escaping me.
Dirty Dancing.
I was tempted to just sit there and wait to see how long it took. Like,
we would have been here this would have been the most awkward podcast as we just stared at one another while Travis's brain malfunctioned.
I was excited to then listen to him list all of the handsome men he thought were like in movies. He's just like, all right, Hugh Jackman, let's go. Let's start the list.
I never thought Hugh Jackman was all that attractive.
Is this what we're doing now? We're like rating like... I mean, okay, let's go. Everybody's top 3 male actors.
If we're going to rate everybody that's currently in the podcast
everybody's
right
top
now,
3.
Everyone's feelings are going to be very hurt, and one person is going to be very proud. And you guys are going to get jealous of me, because I'll get rated the highest.
Oh, okay.
That's only because you look like Sheamus. We've already gone over this like 3 times.
No, not anymore. I have the full.
The wrestling fans will.
Oh, I thought you meant we were rating each other, and I was like, oh, I'm totally gonna win.
No, I would win. Are you kidding me?
I definitely think I would win. My beard is way more glorious than yours.
It's just invisible, which makes it 10 times better.
There is interest on Facebook for handsome men in media.
Handsome
oh God!
All
right.
God, that's gonna be...
Next podcast, we're just gonna.
Thanks,
start...
Albie. Big preach.
Yeah,
big preach.
Yeah. Next podcast is just gonna be who we feign over every time we see him in a film.
Yo, if we do a Who's Bondos or Waifu episode, I got a list. Like, I can go like, whoosh, and get you that
Clark's
list
just
real
gonna
quick.
roll out the parchment that just like travels out the door like a cartoon.
Well, yeah, of course it's on parchment. Like, it's fancy.
As is tradition.
I love you guys. It took us all of 10 seconds to get wildly off topic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we didn't even make it 5 minutes into the
We
episode.
didn't even make it all the way through the intro.
I'm going to be honest, and I'm probably saying this, and I shouldn't be, but like sometimes our intro beginning for the live stuff doesn't do as well. So we mixed it up and did something all brand new.
Yeah,
so let's see how it goes.
I love the fact that you're trying to pawn this off as planned and not just a manic derailment.
Manic goblin nerds that all just hang out and talk on Thursdays.
Yeah, what happens when you get 4 people with ADHD together?
But yeah, so on a serious note, does everyone has to know this because I know this. There's a game that came out, and it came out today, and it's called Bang on Balls Chronicles. Just want to throw that out there.
Chronicles? Does that mean there's several?
Wildly off topic.
Okay, explain this game to me now that you have my attention.
I don't know that I want to know about this game.
I do. Bang on balls.
Yeah, Ryan, shut up. I need to know about this. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm like looking it up as we speak because I pulled a list and did my homework.
Yeah, I got my lists up.
Yeah, I love how you said I pulled the list that I'm looking at right now. That's like you're writing on the answers to your homework as the teacher's collecting it.
I mean, maybe I did that too. I mean, you know.
Finished is finished. The deadline is when you're supposed to hand it in, you know?
I guess it just makes fun of... It says it's a parody platforming game that riffs on many classic and modern tropes found in different action games.
Those are a lot of words that mean nothing, like combined.
Yeah, I know. I want to watch the trailer, but it'll mess up my feed because I don't have good internet.
Synchronicity.
Well, that's what I'm just like. We're gonna synchronize, and we're
so
gonna
AI was synergizing with one another.
Yes, we're gonna come together. We're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back, guys.
Absolutely gonna watch that video later, though.
The good news is we now know what game Eric is most excited about upcoming. So
Bang on balls.
Bang on balls.
Just so we can talk about it at work. So I've been playing Bang on Balls, and they're just like, bro, like, there's patience here. And he's just like, it's not a big deal. Do you want to come over to my place? Yeah, do you guys want to come over to my place and bang on balls? And they're going to be like, Eric.
I have VR bang on balls.
You're going to send the wrong message to one dude and just be like, you want to bang on balls? He's going to be like, the break room's free. And you just be like, no, like the video game. And he's going to be like, oh.
Break room's free.
Now it's awkward.
Got it on the Switch.
Yeah, like...
Is that Switch game?
You know what? Honestly, the worst part about it is
it's coming out on Switch. Just throwing that out there. It is.
We had a definite template tonight. Like we had a road. Anyway,
not every road shall be traveled upon.
Some roads we just veer right off of, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then careen off the bridge into a downward spiral of stupid puns. I'm going to be talking about Bang on Balls for the next 3 days. I'm bringing that shit up at work.
Oh,
I work for a construction company,
everybody.
So I can get away with that by saying wildly inappropriate thing because construction people will let anything fly. It doesn't matter what it is.
I'm just going to go to one of my town halls and be like, hey, y'all playing Bang on Balls? And watch a bunch of other nerds spiral down this same exact hole.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do.
I like announcing something and then watching everybody fervently Google what the hell I'm talking about. That's always one of my high spots at work, too. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
Also, for all of our listeners, it's Fat Bear Week. Go vote.
Oh my God, is that happening?
Yeah, it's happening right now. It's day 2 of Fat Bear Week. You guys have been missing out.
Completely forgot about that. Yeah.
I've been voting on funny wildlife photos.
Yeah, go Grazer. For those of you that haven't seen, Grazer did the real glow up this fall.
You mean
bear has gotten fat.
I do
like it's my favorite thing about fall. Everyone's like, ooh, pumpkin spice, Halloween. I'm like, yeah, but Fat Bear Week.
Maybe he's self-conscious and you're just making fun of his fatness. It's not very nice.
They're proud. It's they're getting ready for hibernation season. Fat is beautiful, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, the fatter the better the bear. Like spherical is the look.
Yeah, the victory video for 747 was it like 2 years ago was my absolute favorite. because he tried walking through the creek to get over to his side of the den, and his belly was just a dragon in the water, and that water was not deep. Like, it wasn't even knee-high, and he was just like, ooh, it's cold.
I will admit, I look forward to Fat Bear Week.
Fat Bear Week is so good. So that's what I've been looking for. So outside of, like, the Nerdverse stuff, Fat Bear Week, big week for me.
Hey, solidly in the Nerdverse. Like, I'm going to say solidly in the Nerdverse. Animal nerds are a thing.
Who do you think is really voting on this? Let's be totally honest.
I am voting on Fat Bear Week. I love Fat Bear Week.
Facebook moms, maybe?
I'm just saying.
Facebook moms.
Why does it
so
say...
we know what Travis has been doing his week. We do have a template for tonight. I'm going to try to get us back on track just a little bit. Clark, you are our fearless leader for the evening.
Okay,
and
good.
Gave us
I go to the qualifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
gotta have the qualifier there.
I have to say in the comment, Albie's on my side. Fat Bear Week is premium content.
There you go. You know what? Sharks get a week every year. I think bears should too. Like,
Shark Week isn't as adorable as Fat Bear Week.
I think we should get videos of people fighting bears. That's the only thing that could make it any better.
Short video.
And some more content for the Eric is Toxic episode. Sweet action.
What? What makes that toxic?
What's wrong with
What? They could win. They fight bears in Russia.
At this point...
Okay. There was a thing going around.
I vote that Eric go fight a bear.
I can't fight a bear. I'm just saying people do fight bears.
He's the closest to grizzly bear territory.
I am. But on a for real note, Tyson could take a bear, I bet. Mike Tyson, he could take a bear.
Right now?
No way.
I think he could take a bear.
Mike Tyson in his prime couldn't take a bear.
Yeah,
There's no human alive that's winning a fist fight with a bear. That's just not happening.
This is not the way it works.
I mean, maybe like a baby bear.
Well, I'm not watching Mike Tyson fight a baby bear.
How does that joke go where it's, Wolverine's super popular but has the most boring superpowers ever? Where it's like, oh, he's strong, has claws, and is really hard to kill. We've been dreaming about those powers since we discovered bears.
Wolverine is Canadian. He's got free healthcare. You didn't see that thing I posted?
That's his superpower.
Yeah, free healthcare.
That's why Deadpool can't die, because Ryan Reynolds has all that great free healthcare.
Yeah. You guys didn't see that Wolverine post? He's just Canadian. That's why he's Canadian.
Superpower.
Yeah, but America has Captain America's ass, and I agree that's way better. Now that's America's ass. My favorite line.
Albie, we're a hair's breadth away from a D&D level derailment here.
Oh,
yeah, just straight up D&D session.
And speaking of more derailment,
real
quick,
we are gonna get a real. So as we always plug random things in the beginning because it's the best time for people because we have the biggest audience. I'm gonna be streaming a campaign on YouTube for D&D. So right now, I'm gonna try to figure out as to how many people I'm gonna do. It's looking like it'll probably be myself. I got one buddy that's going to get in it. So we're probably going to need like 2 or 3 more. We're just trying to figure out. Homebrew game. It's going to be off the wall. So we're going to see what happens.
But, are you DMing?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be a good fit for your table.
Why?
Because you're toxic and you won't let me do shit.
I let people do whatever they want in the game.
Because Clark is easily the most despicable paladin that's ever existed.
I have the best another derailment. I have a current best paladin that I'm playing where I am my own deity that I've sworn an oath to, but I have to have 10 people who believe in me at all times as a deity. So I run around to each different camp and town getting people to believe that I am a deity that I have sworn my own oath to, so I cannot be an oathbreaker paladin. Because it's so much fun, and I am a murder hobo paladin.
So what's funny is, I mean, I know you're doing it effectively for the memes of it, but there is a very real kind of background that I've allowed my warlocks to use called the Ouroboros. Have you ever heard about it? This is not something I came up with. This is from the DM's Guild online. So the Ouroboros warlock swears a pact with this entity, and their end of the the entity, their end of the pact, so to speak, they have to uphold is to become as powerful as possible, right? It's great for a D&D campaign. Everything you're doing to advance is right in line, everything's shiny. The kicker is you've sworn an entity to your future self who has traveled back in time to create this power loop to where they can continuously grow and become more and more powerful. And so I have allowed that for warlocks before.
Yeah, I just have to continuously roll to like get my followers to like continue being my followers.
Or
and
Chauncey.
if I lose more than 10, I lose like all of my paladin powers.
All right,
then
so
I have to run to the next town and try and get people to believe in me.
I am going to take this moment to interject with a standard plug for all of our listeners on Facebook and is it called X chat? Is it
X.
Twitter chat?
Just call it X.
For all of our listeners out there, I want to take a minute so we can get right through the kind of obnoxious, please do the algorithm thing that I'm going to put in the beginning of each episode. I know it gets old here and it's turned into a meme, but every time you guys give us a like, give us a share, give us some comments or interaction, that kind of stuff really, really helps. It lets us do what we're doing. It makes sure that there's an episode next week, and it really helps with all that fun little algorithm stuff. So give us a like, give us a share, tell your friends about it, and enjoy us on wherever you get your podcasts from.
Yeah, that's why Ryan's room is so dark. It's because he can't turn on that second light.
I have one little light right here.
The whole house shares a light bulb.
Yeah, this is the one light.
It's the one light bulb.
All right, Clark. So we have, what are you reading? What are you watching? And what are you playing? So are we starting with books then?
Yeah, I can start with books. So I am halfway through the Throne of Glass series, which is the first Sarah J. Maas series in the Mossiverse. You know that meme like, oh, talk for something for 30 minutes to get $1 million. It's either going to be that or One Piece. I can rattle off massively about it. Female MC, kind of has tragic backstory, goes to be assassin, and then you follow her journey through it the problem is like I can't tell you anything because it's all canon and I can't spoil canon. It's very well written. She also wrote Actar, A Court of Thorns and Roses. That one is kind of a similar trope. I don't think the world building is as good, and you don't fall in love with the characters as much, but it's a much shorter one. So I'm currently dual reading 2 books. So like at a certain chapter, I swap books. So I'm reading A Court of Dawn and Empire of Storm before I hit the 1,000-page final book, Kingdom of Ash.
Yeah,
so,
Janet in the chat is apparently in love with that series. I need to make a quick clarification for people. When she says Mossiverse, she is not talking about the material that goes around your tamale. That's just regular masa, not Mossiverse. I can see how there would be some confusion.
Now you did call it a verse. So does that mean the books are interconnected? Is it a shared universe or?
So there's 3 book series.
And here's the 30-minute talk.
All right. I pull out my board. So like the conspiracy theories on this like Mossverse are wild. The internet, I love it. Book talk, hell yeah. So you have Throne of Glass, or Tog, was her first series, and then you have Actar, and then you have Crescent City. All 3 are said to be related, and there's kind of like hearkenings to each one. So like you'll read a book series, like you'll read Throne of Glass and then you'll go read Actar, or you can read them in any order, and you'll notice similarities. Like, the magic weapons are very similar. There's hearkenings to different Fey wars in each of them that are very, very similar. I haven't read Crescent City yet, but that's supposed to be Crescent City 3, which comes out in January, is supposed to kind of like pull the strings together, and you realize how these universes are connected. There's like hearkenings to there was a rip in the world and something came through, or like dark evils that this was fighting is now magically in this universe. And so yeah, it's like a multiverse. And the conspiracy theories online, I am so here for. They are wonderful. These fans are insane, and I love it. Like, it is deep in the trenches of every middle-aged housewife right now. Like that and Fourth Wing. which I can also prattle on about for like
So
45
that's
minutes.
actually
I'm gonna let my wife know that you're referring to her as a middle-aged housewife.
Yeah, me too. I'm a middle-aged
Well,
housewife. I think that's
to
what we
back up
are.
her point, actually. So I know what I'm reading
Ryan is
right now,
also
but
reading.
well, no. The
Middle-aged
grand
housewife.
irony is my TBR table currently has ACOTAR, the first 3 books I think on it,
Yeah.
and Fourth Wing, both of which came highly recommended to me by some close friends of mine. And so now I'm like, wow, this is pretty prolific. It's kind of everywhere. Like, all right. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, so like Actar kind of gets you in the beginning. Like you're a little bit more hooked. A Throne of Glass is kind of like a slow burn, but once you get to Heir of Fire, or whichever one's like right before that, it like really starts to like pull that reel in, and you're just like, oh, I'm hooked and emotionally invested in this character. Like I haven't teared up through like a lot of books before, but that one I was like, oh my god, they're dead. Ah! So I also have made smutty book stickers so I can like mark them, and then when I give them to Travis's wife, she can note the dirty thoughts that I was thinking when I read that. Or like a lot of them are just like yes, or like slay your enemies. Like there's a lot of them where it goes from like yes, queen, slay your enemies, and I'm like yes, rise up, just murder.
Yes,
This is
queen.
the most Clark has talked in
Slay.
an episode
And then
for a
like
while.
blood for the blood
So
god, just
excited.
immediately following it up.
Yeah.
Yes to genocide. No.
Yeah.
Hold up.
In a story
TOS.
fantasy setting against the
As
bad
always.
guys who are deep dark woods, then I want them all dead. But it's very good. So that's what I've been reading. Playing, I have finally made it to the second act of Baldur's Gate 3. And I will say finally because I scoured every inch of Act 1 before I like broke every box. I opened every chest. I rolled all the dice, and nobody will romance me. And I'm very mad about it. But I will bear from the top ropes now, and it has to be one of like my favorite meme mechanics. And I've been watching a lot of videos of like people just building giant box towers and then just like launching their druid off of it. And I was like, this is the shenanigans I'm here for. So I'm excited to get into Act 2.
I know Baldur's Gate 3 has been getting a lot of attention here recently, right?
So
like
good.
It is so good.
Yeah.
It had one of the most successful kind of PR campaigns leading up to it, especially with all the controversy with how the other development studios responded to it. And it's kind of doing everything gamers were hoping for.
Stop making a good game. You're making us all look bad.
Make us all look bad.
No, I'm
but
gonna
it is.
starve.
Yeah, they are proving that you can release a high quality game without microtransactions, without all this other, needless crap that we deal with in every other video game. And they're doing it in a good IP, which frankly, and if I'm being very honest, with the exception of the Baldur's Gate games, Dungeons & Dragons doesn't have a good kind of history when it comes to video games. Just doesn't.
Ooh. There was a lot
And
of Nintendo games that came out that were really good. There's
it is not widely seen as good. There are a few exceptions, especially using the open source kind of stuff, but an actual Dungeons and Dragons IP title, with the
there's never
exception
been
of
any
Baldur's
to the
Gate's
extent
games.
of Baldur's Gate 3, but there's been successful. Neverwinter Nights. Yeah.
I mean, not on this.
Man, hold on.
Did anybody play Boulder Gates 1 and Boulder Gates 2? Are those actual games, or
I
did
own
we
them
just
both.
go to 3?
No, I own them both.
They're
Now,
good.
Neverwinter Nights is another good exception. Eric's right about that. I liked them. I will tell you this: Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 were not the same kind of experience that you're getting with Baldur's Gate 3.
Gotcha.
Because they were based on second edition rules, so they're very difficult. They are not easy.
Well, and the entire gameplay style is different. It's a kind of a top-down, kind of like the original Fallout games were.
Oh.
And it's a lot of fun, but it's a much more
There's also
traditional video gaming experience.
There was a Baldur's Gate for Xbox. It wasn't like, it was Baldur's Gate 2
Alliance.
something.
Dark Alliance.
Dark
Dark
Alliance.
Alliance, that's what it was. Yeah, that
That
was a
was that
very
weird,
Diablo-esque.
Punchy.
Yeah, it did not do well.
It was a good game. It was not very highly reviewed. They were like, this game is not original. And like I played it and I was like, ooh, it's not. But it was still a good time.
Yeah.
You'll find that a lot through the Dungeons & Dragons IP video games. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to, I believe it's called Crown of Solasta. It's not a D&D IP, but it uses the open source rules for their game and is a good game. Is it Baldur's Gate 3 level? No. But it is a good game, and so I do want to give that out as like it can be done. It's fun. But that's just a hill that I feel very strongly about. There are notable exceptions, like Baldur's Gate and like Neverwinter Nights, but the Dungeons & Dragons IP video games traditionally have not done well.
The MMO Neverwinter they tried to pull off was not great. We were so excited for that. I know it's still going, and I don't know why, because that game was not good.
Well,
it's not the worst.
I don't know if they've patched it into like a workable thing, but we played it on drop, like day one. Me and the crew just lined up to get into a lobby, and it was like, you're joining the lobby. And then 3 to 5 business days later, you were in the game, only to find out that it had loaded you into the wrong spot, which was a fun glitch because my friend just loaded into like a very high level area and then can't leave. So he had to delete his character and start all the way over again.
Well, you also ran into the same problems with the Dungeons & Dragons Online. They had it set in Eberron, which was very, very ambitious. I'm just going to open with that. Eberron, as far as the setting goes, is going to be a difficult one to work with. And that one had the potential to be a very good game. And they just did everything wrong that they possibly could. It was micro-transed into the ground. Every little thing you needed a separate type of pass or subscription for. And because of the way the screen was set up, it was nearly unplayable. Now, for those of you out there that...
Was that the one where you had to purchase your subclass?
You had to purchase your subclass, you had to purchase hairstyles, you had to purchase all the races. It was...
With real money?
With real money, yes.
But
with real dollars.
You could probably get a pass, like some of them do. Like I know with Neverwinter, you could get
individual passes. You could get hairstyles passes.
But
that was a subscription.
Could you pay like a monthly fee and get everything or something?
I'm sure
some
they
games
had to have had
some games do stuff like that.
They may have had an ultimate deal, but it like I think it was like $6 a month, and it was like it doubles your inventory space, which was still tiny, and then it was like a 25% increase in the in-game currency drop rate, which was still dismal. They were like, you don't have to buy the deal, you can just grind out the gold, and you'd kill like you could complete like one of the mid-level like dungeon areas and not get any gold. Like zero.
Now, bear in mind,
this was getting 0 gold.
This was a decade ago. It's probably better now, but yeah, I did not have a very positive experience when it came to the D&D MMO and the D&D Online.
Yeah,
and that is why, like, I wanted to bring this up when Clark brought up Baldur's Gate 3 for her. What is she playing? Is because Baldur's Gate 3 has really, it caught me off guard. I was not expecting a good game. I was expecting just another. I have not had an opportunity to play it yet, unfortunately.
I'll stream it and you can watch me do reckless and stupid things.
Well, what's funny is I've had days where I'm itching for it, and I'm tempted to hit up Travis and be like, hey, you know that joke you made about streaming it on Discord? Could we like do that? Or
I can't wait to do a what is it? Not Wicked Intentions playthrough, but
a Dark Urge.
Yeah, Dark Urge playthrough.
Yeah,
my buddy started his Dark Urge playthrough first. He was just gonna be like, I'm gonna be evil as shit, and I was like, all right, man, that's the way to go.
All right.
Wow,
nice. So that's what I'm playing. Watching, I tried to watch Jobless Reincarnation, a new anime for this series. Couldn't do it. It has the one thing that I don't like in anime is where they're like, it's okay because our 50-year-old protagonist he's a skeezy guy, gets isekai'd, and now he's 13, and now he's like a skeezy 13-year-old. And I'm just like, nope, I'm not going to play this game. I will mildly give you high school students, but when they're like, you're an adult at 15 in this realm, I'm like, nope, goodbye. Have a great day. So like, I
Yeah.
in concept, it's right up there with my favorite. He gets isekai'd, he's all powerful, but then it's just kind of skeezy, and I was like, I'm out, goodbye. And then I swapped over to Zom 100, which is fucking fantastic. I loved it. I'm very sad that it's currently on indefinite hiatus. For the anime.
Which means canceled in all but name.
No, so this is I think it's like, I forgot the story, but I think they're like sub animation studio backed out and they can't seem to find one. So until they find one, like they're not gonna release a second season. But it was like, it's really well done. It's a really cute concept. Like, and I'm not even, I hate spooky things. I don't like zombies or murders or spooky things. So when you guys are talking about, let's do a horror episode for Halloween, I'm like, do you want to watch me scream for an hour? Because that's what we're going to do.
Weren't you watching or reading My Boyfriend's a Zombie, So What? Isn't that like something you were talking about? I'm fairly certain it was something you had read.
My Boyfriend's a Zombie.
Or something to that effect.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Yeah, that was a new one on me.
I remember you talking. I don't know if you've read it. I remember you talking about it.
Maybe I saw it on one of like my webcomic apps, but like I don't think I think I could probably like read a zombie anime because you can't jump scare me in anime.
Just
but
turn
like
the page and it turns out to be a pop-up book.
Oh god, okay, yeah, I lied. You could jump scare me with a manga. But like I read Stephen King's It when I was in high school, and I like showered with like the tub cover, like the little drain cover on for at least like a month. So
you need to watch the original on hard mode, and that's watching it in a house decorated with clowns, which is what I did as a child.
Yes, we all flew down here, Georgie.
Watching Silence of the Lambs also in high school because I was trying to be cool. I was like, oh, I'm not scared. I couldn't sleep for like a week. My mom was like, never again.
That's probably my favorite cooking show.
What's your favorite slice of life cooking show?
Favorite slice of life, right there.
So yes, highly recommend Zom 100. Not sure about, Jobless Reincarnation is just not my vibe.
You know that Apple is working on VR and an isekai in the VR?
Hell yeah, I want to get isekai into VR. You know, the one that I'm excited for is Just Dance is coming out. I love that game on VR. And I have like all the Beat Saber ones. Somebody did a World of Warcraft demo in VR. Oh my god. If WoW goes to VR, you will catch me swinging a fake greatsword. Like, Ashbringer and I will be tearing up the upstairs, just knocking over lamps.
It's going to be a whole bunch of empty monster cans and holes in the drywall, but not for the same reasons.
Chris will just come up with like a foam shield and just be like, it's dinner time. You haven't showered in a week.
I made pizza rolls. Please come downstairs.
Excuse me, we're a Bagel Bites household.
My bad.
Bagel Bites and taquitos.
Do you microwave them or cook them in the oven?
Oh, air fryer.
Air fryer. There we go.
We're classy.
I forget everybody's moved up in the world to air fryer now.
Yeah.
I was going to judge you if you microwaved them. I assume Eric microwaves fish in his house. Like, that's just the vibe I
get. I mean, I don't now that I'm older, but when I was younger,
That just such a visceral reaction to hearing
You should
microwave.
smell it. That's even worse.
Oh god, we had somebody do that. We had a guy at work make catfish enchiladas and then offer people in the office some. I was like, no, dog, no.
Smell the break
I
room.
like working
Nope.
from home. If something like that happens, it's my fault.
You know, we really should do
He
a
was like, hey
Food
man, they're
Wars.
good. I was like, they're not. Food
We should
Wars
do a
is
Food Wars
probably
episode.
It's an amazing
Food
anime,
Wars
by the way.
episode?
We can talk about the anime. We can talk about geek food and geek drink.
Oh, okay. I was like, what pray tell is a Food Wars
Alright.
episode? Is it where you eat something and all of your clothes fall off? Like, tell me more.
Yeah,
So,
I
Travis,
have never,
what have you
I've
read?
never wanted to try anime food more in my life after watching Food Wars.
Really?
Reading,
The Naruto ramen didn't get you? I really wanted to try Naruto ramen.
not as much as I'm sorry. If I could have like an out-of-body orgasmic experience by eating somebody's cooking, I'm gonna go that route as opposed to that ramen looks good. Like,
You should also watch Campfire Cooking in Another World, other super cute isekai, where
Okay.
it's like just this really weird skill that then becomes OP that he doesn't tell anybody about, and he just like starts collecting gods as like pets. It's very cute and very funny.
okay, I'm putting it on the list of slice of life anime.
It's
my
not
God.
as good as Reincarnated as a Vending Machine and Now I Travel the Dungeon.
By far
But
the
it's
best
really-
isekai that has ever been created. That's so awful. It's amazing.
I want to hate it, but it's so annoyingly well done. And I just love that she falls in love with a vending machine.
No.
It's so dumb. Okay. Eric, what are you reading, watching, and playing?
I'm reading children's books because my daughter doesn't want to learn to read.
Okay.
I thought it was to develop your vocabulary more, but that's also understandable.
Hey,
Travis, awful spicy tonight.
my vocabulary is perfect. I use the F word for everything. Verb, noun, adjective. Look, I even know those words. Haha, fuck you. So, to
And
continue
there's
on.
the word.
That's a verb.
So, yeah, that's all I'm reading though. Is that, and then everybody's X comments, I guess is what it is now instead of tweets.
Yeah, what are they
Facebook
called
thing.
now instead of
I have no
tweet?
clue. I'm on Threads too.
X's.
I don't. I call them X's. Travis's whole crime thing was a hit. I'm still working on merch for the holiday
Is it Travis
season.
does crime?
No,
Is
no.
that
The whole crime.
that's
what
what
was
the
the,
hit is?
I plead the fifth. I'm not incriminating myself on
no,
video.
no. The comment you made.
Well, no, I
What
wanted
was
to
it?
know what the segment was that Eric
No,
did
it was
on you
last
in
week.
crime.
Last week when you made the comment about
Oh, you're just
time
gonna
to
drink
crime
now?
or whatever.
I've done a lot of crime in my life, and I don't remember.
what it was. Oh my god, why
That's
is
You know,
my
it's
brain
it's one of
farting?
those things where I've just been kind of rotating through it. You know,
Oh my god.
once in a
Anyways,
while, you just got to
so
do
that's
some
all I've
crimes,
been reading.
commit a felony, as it were. Just kidding. I'm not
Let's
encouraging anybody to go out and
see.
commit felonies, nor have I committed any that I'm aware of.
Yeah, you were in the military. You
May have
definitely did.
accidentally done one once or twice, but who hasn't?
Time to
I
crime.
love-
That comment the other day.
Oh,
His
Eric's back.
negotiating.
Good. We had to delay.
Oh.
Your internet had a major hiccup.
Sorry, it's probably because I was talking about the news, and in Canada, when you talk about the news and news stuff and videos and stuff, they X you out. So that's probably what happened. I got.
Yeah,
But yeah,
The deep
so
state is hunting Eric.
Hold
yeah,
on.
time to crime though. That was the shirt, dude. That's the next shirt I'm making.
Oh, yeah.
on our merch shop. Video games that I'm playing. Ooh, so they finally made a good anime video game, in my opinion. So that My Hero Ultra Rumble or whatever. I don't know how long it's been out. I just recently started seeing it. So I think it's new. Anyways, I'm playing it. It's pretty good. It's basically like a battle royale with My Hero Academia characters and no ability to lock on to attack anybody. So it's fucking wild. So you just like you got three super moves, a regular punch kick, and then your ultra go beyond plus ultra move. And it's not bad.
Hi, Valkyrie.
It's hard to do. It's hard to get new characters unlocked and stuff like that. and it's got Ryan's biggest hate in it, a lot of microtransaction thingies. But the game's free, so I guess technically speaking, if you buy some of the stuff, it would balance out to buying the game. So, I don't know. But it's good. It's nice to see that it's not just some fucking fighter like every other anime game that comes out every 5 seconds.
Well, I mean, that's the easiest way to do an anime game.
Jesus, like, just give me, like, a role-playing, like, I think Kakarot was the closest that's come out to, like, a role-playing game, and that's only kind of. You still, every time you got to a spot, you just fought somebody, and then that was fucking it. And then
to be fair, that is how Dragon Ball works as an anime too. Is you get to the spot and then you fight somebody.
Yeah. You power up and then
yeah.
No, I'm not disagreeing. You turn a new color. You get your hair done. It's like, yeah.
You go to the salon. You start
playing. Yeah. Goku always looks immaculate before he fights somebody. Like his hair grows out. It gets all stylish. He bleaches it for the fight scenes. Upcoming games. I can't think of any games like that have got me right now that I'm really excited about because I'm so hell-bent on like Baldur's Gate 3 and like the anime and stuff like that. Probably just the D&D Beyond, the way they got the new maps and stuff that are out that you can play D&D online. So I'm looking forward to spending more money on D&D to be able to play D&D, even though I've already bought the books twice and some map stuff. So a third time is just what I'm looking forward to because there's nothing like it. Yeah, that's probably what I'm looking forward to game-wise, I guess, because right now I play on Fantasy Grounds. I like it. It's cool, but going forward, I feel like Fantasy Grounds is going to lose out because of everything going on. So when the new edition comes out for D&D and stuff, I don't think they're going to get it, and I think it's going to be only on D&D Beyond. So I think Fantasy Grounds is going to lose out.
Have you tried Tailspire? That's what I currently play on with D&D Beyond sheets. But like Tailspire is our map in our world. It has been very nice. We have like a modded version. I don't know if it's like a pack of mods, but it's been really good. I really enjoy it, and it's got a lot of customization for my DM.
I've not tried that.
I'm going to interject. I don't think Fantasy Grounds is going to be hurting at all. If they try to move one to D&D Beyond exclusively, they're gonna miss out on a massive corner of the market, which Hasbro is. Even if they tried it, Hasbro will already back down if there's enough backlash. And the amount of people that unsubscribe from D&D Beyond still hasn't hit back to its record high, even after they walk back the OGL. There's no way that they're in a financial position to pull that off. Well, they are in a financial position to just make that decree, but I don't think they're going to. I think Fantasy Grounds is going to keep getting support because it gives them multiple venues to sell stuff bit and piece at a time, because that's how Fantasy Grounds works, right? You buy the core books, and then you buy the expansion, and then you buy an adventure set, and then you buy the next book, and then so on and so forth, and it just keeps going and going and going. With D&D Beyond as a subscription service, there's not going to be those big initial jumps of purchasing, and Fantasy Ground also has outside support, which means that they don't have to pay for upkeep on it. They drop a module, Fantasy Grounds has to figure out how to make it work. It's also a cost-saving thing. Not to mention how many other tabletop games are supported by Fantasy Grounds. I don't think it's going to hurt them all that much if Hasbro just backed out and said D&D wasn't going to be in.
The only way I see it happening is only if D&D Beyond does really well. I think they're smart to release all this extra maps and everything before D&D 1 comes out. Because if it does really well on there, I honestly do think there's a chance they pull it from Fantasy Grounds. And Fantasy Grounds won't care because they've got Pathfinder, Vampire, Shadowrun, every other role-playing game.
Custom-made modules, all the Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's a big thing, is that a lot of the contracts that are in place right now terminate right before 1 D&D. Now, if Hasbro's going to make a play to try to create their own personal VTT, place to play D&D and try to corner that section of the market, more power to them, I suppose. It won't be great news for me or my table. We all use Fantasy Grounds as well, but I could see it very much happening. It's within the personality of the company. I doubt it because more money's more better, but I could see them trying it.
It just depends on how well D&D Beyond does with this new map and everything that came out. If it does really well and they see their numbers go up a lot, I could see them doing it to try to corner the market, because if they make everyone come to them.
The thing is they can't corner the market. All they can do is seclude themselves from other places, which again, yeah, Hasbro could do that, and if they could get away with it and still make bukus of money, they probably will, right? I don't trust Hasbro to do anything the polite way. But the thing is like, there's always other options, especially for things like Fantasy Grounds, is to just play something else, man. I know our table is looking real hard at Pathfinder 2 as the next option, because when D&D 1 comes out, we're probably just going to be making the switch anyway. So that whole business with the OGL literally soured every single one of our player base, and we were just like, we'll leave.
I don't want to learn a new system. And if I'm going to learn a new system, I'm going to Vampire Masquerade, to be totally honest.
You should learn 100 new systems. That's what we've done.
If I leave D&D, I'm going to Vampire. It's such a good game.
Yeah, Vampire's good. I dig it.
Yeah, I like Vampire okay. I mean, I will admit that out of all of the World of Darkness games, Vampire is my least favorite one, but
I
it's
like
still a
Mage.
good game. Yeah, I'm a Changeling guy personally.
Yeah, but
I like Mage a lot.
You're big Fae.
Yeah.
Well, then I have a book series for you. Do I have 3 book series for you?
Again, we've covered it not to be covered, like not to be confused, I should say, with Masa, which is the tamale covering. Yes. Every time somebody brings that up, they're like, "Have you read Masa?" And I was like, "I didn't know." Like fortune telling with corn paste.
It's
like I didn't know that was a thing.
Verse.
Oh, see, you say Masa-verse, and I immediately think tamale, which is also a good thing about fall.
Hot tamales, the best
no,
candy.
Not hot tamales. Get
Throwing
out of
that
town.
Out there.
Actual tamales.
What?
Derek.
Hot tamales
Jesus.
are an amazing candy. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Travis, you're talking to a Canadian.
I thought he said
game. We were stationed in El Paso together, and you're telling me you never got a good tamale?
I'm not a fan of most Spanish foods because there's so much cheese. Not gonna lie. I know.
What?
Horrible human. I am.
No.
I completely agree.
What Mexican food has too much, like a traditional taco doesn't have cheese on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Down in El Paso, it seemed like everything had fucking cheese all over it. Every time
I went
out
to Taco Bell? Like, is that your exposure to Mexican food? Is Taco Bell?
Don't order it supreme, bro.
No. I went out. I don't know. People just went out, and I just would drink tequila and eat breakfast burritos.
Yeah, tamales
I don't think tamales should have cheese. Oh, did Albie say it?
Yeah, they don't have cheese on tamales.
Nachos?
No, I never ate nachos.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's cheese in tamales. Like,
oh, maybe there wasn't. I don't know.
Boy, howdy, are we all over the place tonight?
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and yank the reins again. So, Eric, you not doing a lot of reading right now.
Kids books.
Looking forward to the D&D stuff. What about watching?
Bang on balls.
Yeah, looking forward to Bang on balls.
Man, so watching, I'm trying to think like, I watched the new Dracula, and I finished Ahsoka.
Oh, okay.
The new Dracula was really good. It was interesting. I love that storyline. Netflix just keeps doing those animes really well. I'm slightly nervous with them coming out with 2 new ones. So they're going to be coming out with a Tomb Raider and Devil May Cry.
Excited for both.
So I would be okay if it was one at a time, but if
Tomb Raider,
if they're trying to do both, I don't know.
I think it's going to be as long as they're doing it. Yeah, as long as they're doing it well, I don't care. I mean, Netflix has a massive studio budget as it sits right now, so.
And they look like they're just reskinning the same like Dracula, or
it's
Castlevania is just going to be the same exact look.
It's going to be the same art style.
Yeah, and there's supposed to be a crossover between the two, potentially.
See, I
Between
didn't
Devil
see
May
anything.
Cry
That's
and
cool.
Dracula, that'd be dope.
Between Devil May Cry and Castlevania.
I'm for it.
I didn't realize Devil May Cry was that old. Like in like the, because if you watch all the Castlevania stuff is super like
Well, it doesn't.
medieval times. I didn't know.
There's nothing to say that it can't be like a rip in time, pull back Monster Hunter kind of thing. But
Yeah.
that's just once again a rumor. Who knows? It'd be super freaking cool. Like
Yeah,
I'd be
I'm
here
for
for
it. Yeah, as long as they do a better job than the last Devil May Cry anime that came out, it was not.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't feel like Dante. Like, this
No, I
looks
watched.
like Dante, but this does not act like Dante.
I watched like 2 episodes, and I was like, nope. Way to destroy one of my favorite franchises.
And regardless of what anybody says, Ahsoka was a pretty good series. The fighting was. There's a couple people that on it. The only thing I will agree with is I didn't like a lot of Sabine's fights with the lightsaber. I thought they were kind of sloppy a little bit, especially the last one she did with the blaster and the lightsaber.
But I think they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
I do too.
She's not fully trained, and she's always been a sloppy fighter.
But it just, I don't know. It kind of threw me a little bit.
It has,
and that's good.
Hands down, the best unhinged women, like, villains. Chris, my husband, was sitting there. He's like, she doesn't look mad. I was like, no. That is a lady who's about to, like, go on a rampage. It's just, like, this quiet calm. I was like, because women don't get mad the same. It's just like...
No, men just go missing, and that's how you know.
It's a whisper yell. Like, that's what her facial expression to me was, is just like, I'm going to destroy you all.
Well, the good news is Chris isn't going to know he's in danger. Like, if that's...
Yeah.
We'll just know when he's missing.
And then murder.
But Balin was the best character that Star Wars has done probably since the original 3. Like, hands down. And it's, rest in peace to, like, Ray Stevenson. That's his name, right? Like, dude, amazing actor. 3 Musketeers, he was great in that.
I thought he was going to be a really great gray Jedi. Like, that's what I was hoping we kind of, like, walked into. I was like, ooh.
And no one could tell me if he was good or bad. Because just the way his character was, like, he was just, oh, man. And so much mystery to him.
Chef's kiss to that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a sin. Someone said someone looks like him, and they're hoping he takes over the role. Oh, man.
In Ahsoka too?
Yeah, it's not coming. But I don't. Oh, man, I'll look at the actor while someone else is talking. So,
Travis,
who's up next for this?
What are you reading, watching, playing?
Currently reading the Dawn of Fire novel series, which is a Warhammer 40k series. I'm on book 3, which is the Wolf Time, and I have to read it in chunks. One, because now that we're dealing with like a lot of Space Marines, like more frequently as this goes along, I have to watch myself because the names are absolutely ridiculous. Like, Space Marine names are just so over the top. Like Stopticus.
Okay, so like high fantasy, not just like general.
It's all faux Latin. It's all. You don't have to be that mad about the names, Clark. You're throwing stuff.
Yeah, Jenkins is just popping off and like something. I'm afraid to look, honestly.
Just rebelling in that house. Like, oh, were you working on this Lego model with 4,000 pieces? Shove.
You laugh. He is actually the one. There's like a pile of Legos over there. It's like 4 of the helmets and a baby Yoda are just all mushed.
Not Grogu.
Together. Yeah, Grogu is like half of his head's there because Jenkins was like, wow, that's a really cool floating shelf. Bet it can hold my weight. And just like Lion King'd off the edge of it and pulled it down.
So yeah, so apparently Jenkins doesn't like the Warhammer 40k books, which is fair. I also have to read them in chunks. One, again, because I mentioned the names, they're bad. Like they could do so much better with the names. Everybody has this really like faux Latin sounding name, which I get is established lore before people like, oh, it's lore. I was like, I get it. That doesn't mean we have to stick to it so hard. Like having somebody whose name is
Or
Stopicus.
enjoy it.
Yeah, Stopicus is the stupidest name, and he keeps cropping up in this novel, and I'm just like, ugh.
Did they give him nicknames?
They just call each other brother. So if you're reading,
Yeah, Battle Brother.
yeah, if they're having a conversation back and forth with one another, sometimes it gets a little confusing. I was like, I don't know which Space Marine is talking.
Please tell me you read it in your head like, "Hey, brother."
No, I read it as like the way they sound from the old school video game, not Hulk Hogan's voice. Which there is a lot of Warhammer 40k Hulk Hogan memes that are absolutely amazing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, brother.
somebody made a joke. There was like, if every Space Marine is technically a clone derivative, like a watered down version of their Primarch, which is a watered down version of the Emperor, do all of them look like this? And it shows the Emperor of Mankind sitting on his throne. It's just Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
But so yeah, I've been reading that novel series, which is really good. Oh, to my second point, I have to read it in chunks because none of them are like happy. There's no winning in any of those situations. I'm just like, oh, they've got the upper hand, and they there's a lot of people that are dead. Oh, all the main characters are gone. Oh, this one person who struggled the entire time on a mission divinely sent by the Emperor succeeded, technically, only to find out that the person she was bringing the missive to has been gone for years.
Yeah, 40K is just a straight up grimdark series. For those of you that aren't familiar, it's an amazing universe with some really intricate and engrossing lore. But there is no such thing as happy endings unless you're a Tyranid
or Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Albie, I wish they would name a Marine Stoppy McStopface. That would be a refreshing change from all the faux Latin. Like, that would be absolutely amazing.
What about Biggest-Dickus?
Which, by far, my favorite character from History of the World, which is a Mel Brooks movie.
Good.
Absolutely amazing. If you guys haven't seen it,
great. And
it's so good.
Liv Schreiber, your actor,
Liev Schreiber
could play Balin Skull.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like him. That's who it was. So I finally found him.
Also, fantastic actor.
Yes.
Just got to gray him up a little bit. They look.
You don't even have to gray him up. He's naturally going gray. He would be amazing.
Yeah.
You just gotta wait like a year.
I don't want to replace Ray Stevenson at all, folks.
Well, you kind of have to. It's not like he's coming back to act in the next series.
Correct. But
took his retirement serious.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not joking.
God. Yeah, Ryan and I with the dark humor tonight.
But if he has to be replaced to carry on the story as to where it looked like it was going to somewhere amazing, yeah,
I think like Liev Schreiber would be a good fit. So reading was
Sorry
Dawn of Fire. Playing, I'm back in Destiny 2 again. Got me again, Clark.
Got him.
I wasn't in for a 24-hour period before I was like, I need silver to buy these skins. Like, Destiny, like the creators at Destiny 2 are just be like, you know what Travis would like? This skin. And I'm like, I would. They were like $20. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know how you feel with that.
Persuading. I'm just like, yeah, that's fine.
Who wants a Viking helmet?
Well, we jumped in, and it was one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm excited for Final Shape. Like, we'll get into it. The minute I boot in, it's like, oh, Season of the Witch, and it has all of these amazing things that are just tailor-made for my tastes. And it's like, oh, they're gonna kill me. Crap.
Yeah, it gets me every time because I was like, I'm just gonna look around and see what's happening. Where did all my money go?
You can't
it's like I'm
do
just
that.
decked out on customization skins, like leaving the Eververse store. Like my Titan just loaded down with packages. Ryan,
I'm
also,
all about.
By the way, there's before we go any further, just talking about Season of the Witch and stuff. There's a fishing mechanic in Destiny now, so there's that.
There
for
is
you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited.
That was a joke we made on drop. So my group of friends very into Destiny 2, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. And on drop, Ryan literally made the comment, it's like the only way this game gets better is if with a fishing mechanic. Because that's Ryan's favorite thing in every game. And then Destiny was like, you want a fishing mechanic? Ryan was like, yeah, I want a fishing mechanic. They're like, Travis, do you want some Viking skins? I was like, yeah, I want some Viking skins. They're like $20. And we were like, here. Like,
here's the 3 wacky numbers on the backside of my debit card.
Yeah, like... Like, can I just sign my paycheck to you guys? That'd be cool, right? Like, we just
I mean, you
streamline this
can.
process.
Direct deposit.
I accept.
Bungie's like, I'll accept on behalf of Bungie. I'm gonna have so much nice shit. Bungie ain't gonna see a dime of that, and you're not gonna have anything.
Okay, so let's continue this on.
So, watching, I am churning through One Piece.
What episode are you on?
We just met Boa Hancock.
Is she not your unhinged
she is
favorite?
quickly becoming one of my favorite ridiculous anime characters. She, like, the first time she did the lean back thing when she was being judgmental to somebody, I was like, oh my god. And then she threw the old lady out the window, and she was just like, it was an accident. And they were like, you're so pretty, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Elena was watching, and she was like, she threw that old lady out the window? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, but she could get away with it. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
Oh, I guess I don't get to talk about what I'm looking forward to? That's fine.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, sorry.
No,
No more One Piece. I'm One Pieced out after last episode.
That's true. We didn't talk about One Piece.
There's 1,000 other episodes for you to watch.
I'm not watching all of that. If they put it out live action, I'm down. But I'm not getting through that anime.
I'm looking forward to watching more One Piece tomorrow. Okay, Ryan, no, I'm just kidding. Man, I don't know what games are really on my radar that I'm looking forward to, or book. Oh, I know a book release that I am wildly looking forward to, and that is the next. Close, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how similar these series are, but it's the next issue of the Dresden Files. I'm looking forward to the next book. The last one ended with supreme sadness for me, to the point where I had to take a brief moment to compose myself before finishing it, because I thought there's no way that actually happened. And for those of you that haven't read it, not spoiling it, but
for those of you that haven't read it, Dresden Files is fantastic, and you should absolutely read
it. And just one more thing real quick. Power Rangers. Just want everybody to know, they are starting the whole thing over. They are rebooting it after the current season of Power Rangers.
Like,
so I am looking forward to that. Sorry.
Live action or animated?
Live action. Power Rangers. They're rebooting the whole series. This is going to be the last shebang. They put a lady lead finally in the red uniform, and it's going to be the last season. And they're starting it all over. I don't know why. But I guess I was reading that, it's going to just be a whole revamp. So I'm excited for that. Sorry.
Get those millennial dollars.
All right, so as far as reading goes, it's going to take just a second. So I am in the middle of the Locked Tomb series by Tamsin Muir. And this was originally kind of, I guess, advertised to me by a close friend of mine that told me, oh, it's about necromancers in space. I said, all right, cool.
You mean Necrons?
Yeah. I was ill prepared for what I was actually getting into with this book series. Because the first book was a great, if somewhat traditional story of kind of like a mystery, sci-fi, magic element, genre in a blender kind of thing that I really, really enjoyed. The main characters were very well written, and it was great. And I had a good time, finished it pretty quickly. And then I picked up the second book, which is called Harrow the Ninth. And this book has taken me through an absolute roller coaster. You're talking about a book that is written in second person, non-linear storytelling with an unreliable narrator. It feels like reading House of Leaves. Like it feels like you're reading a fever dream. And this has got to be one of the best books I've ever read. Like for an author that I didn't research, I didn't know anything about, never read anything from her before. I picked up this book at random on a recommendation, and she's become probably my favorite author, if not one of my favorite authors, quite easily. And so, yeah, the Locked Tomb series, I am almost done with the second book, getting ready to start the third one, and the fourth one comes out in, I believe, January. And so I can chalk that up onto my looking forward to list, because I can't get enough of these books. They're fantastic. As far as what am I playing, I obviously, and I've mentioned this for a couple episodes now. I did a pretty long stint into Starfield. Was very much enjoying that. It is a very, very good game. It's a very traditional Bethesda experience. It feels very much like playing Fallout, Fallout 4 or Skyrim. It's got that same kind of vibe, that same energy to it. It's just in space. And I'm a huge fan of the Bethesda Studios games. I've always enjoyed the experience with them, bugs and all, because I know that's kind of the meme right now as every game comes out super buggy. But I think Starfield is a fantastic game and a great experience, and they have it set up in a really fun and interesting way. And then I picked up Destiny 2 again. Which I have to admit, Destiny 2 is probably my favorite game of all time. If you'd asked me 6 months ago, I probably would have told you Elite Dangerous or Mass Effect. It's Destiny. It's always going to be Destiny. I'm never going to stop simping over Eris Morn, and it's just what it is.
Destiny's just Thanos sitting on the rock during the Infinity Wars, where he's like, "It all comes back to me."
Yeah, it's crazy how much I put this game down and I step away and I get frustrated at not being able to complete a raid and I step away, and 3 months later, it's just that itch comes right on back. And with Final Shape coming out, I was defeated before I even began. So
Spider-Man. I was looking forward to Spider-Man 2, which should also be on my game radar. That was a good one to bring up.
For sure.
I can't believe you guys don't want the Warhammer game.
Darktide?
Their games have not been that great in the past, so it's hard to get excited about a series like
40K,
that.
It's kind of like D&D we were talking earlier. 40K does have some fantastic video games.
Yeah, it's 40K Rogue Trader.
Yeah, Rogue Trader I'm very much looking forward to. I actually assumed that's one you were talking about until Travis said Darktide. Darktide is a good game. Vermintide, its fantasy counterpart, was also a very, very good game. I very much enjoyed that. I don't think Space Marine was as good as it seems to get credit for. It's a fine game for kind of a high-action hack-and-slash style game. But I think games like Mechanicus and the Total War Warhammer adaptations are phenomenal. The Dawn of War series was amazing.
They actually have several really good Warhammer fantasy games. Because, you have the Total War crossover, which was really good. You have Vermintide 1 and 2, both of which were good, just minion wave, or not minion wave, but like wave killing. You just go out and conduct supreme destruction upon the enemies.
Yeah. Very repeatable games.
40K is not a good track record on video games.
40K's had a hard time. Like I said, I think Mechanicus is probably one of the only exceptions. I think Mechanicus and Dawn of War are probably the only exceptions to 40K games that I think were very good. Fire Warrior was not great. I know it has a very loyal kind of cult following, but I didn't think it was that great. Space Marine was fine for what it was. It was not replayable, and it had an interesting story, but that was about it. They really tried to focus on making a linear storytelling experience out of Mortal Kombat style levels of combat, and so it was fine for what it is. And for those of you that were huge fans of Space Marine, more power to you. I have high hopes for the next one that's coming out. I do think Rogue Trader is one I'm optimistic about. I think it might break the mold and set up a new way to do things. I've heard Darktide is very, very good. I have not had an opportunity to play Darktide yet, but I think Rogue Trader is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, Space Hulk was also one of the few 40K ones that was mechanically sound. That did fairly well as far as a 40K game release goes, if I remember correctly. However, Inquisitor was a huge disappointment.
Yeah, which
it was
Inquisitor
like a cheap knockoff of Diablo.
Yeah, and what's bad is I was very excited about it. Their advertising campaign and their kind of pregame, so to speak, was very, very good.
Team up with your friends. Everybody can play their own class. All the classes played the same, and if you teamed up, you could do one activity.
Yep. Yeah, that
Teamwork.
That was the last
activity.
Yeah, that was the last one I went full hard. Like, I pre-ordered it, I got the special crap, and that was a huge disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's super,
and that's the last
super
time I'm going to
disappointing.
do that. Now, as far as what are we watching, my house isn't huge on television. We don't watch a lot of television. We watch an epic amount of movies, but we don't watch a bunch of television. There are some exceptions, and so I'll go with one of those. With it being October and spooky season, my house is gearing up for what we're going to do this year for spooky season, which we do have some television shows online for that one. We're going to be watching the American Horror Story newest 2 seasons. And I think this year, let's see, last year we did the Bly Manor horror movie verse kind of stuff, if I remember correctly. And so this year, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do for those kind of movies. I did start watching a television show kind of at random on a recommendation called Schmigadoon. And for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about,
All
go
of
check
us.
it out.
Me.
Sounds like it. Yeah, everybody here. It sounds like a weird
So-
alternative to cursing.
Yeah. Schmigadoon is
Bless you.
I think it
about
just
yeah. It's about as far away from my normal viewing experience as you can probably get. Considering a lot of my television shows are very specific. I like high adventure and science fiction television shows. And so things like Star Trek Discovery, The Expanse, and similar kind of stuff. I enjoyed The Witcher, for example. Schmigadoon is a comedy about a couple that is struggling in their marriage, and so go on a advertised nature walk that's supposed to bring you closer together, help you bond, and resolve marital issues. What happens instead is they end up stepping off the path, for those of you that are into Fae lore, and ending up in this cursed 1940s town that is a musical, and so they're trapped living day-to-day lives
Oh, Mia.
in a musical set in the 1940s. It's a really enjoyable experience. I am liking it. It is bizarre. It's out of my comfort zone. It is not my style of humor or viewing, but I am enjoying it a lot. And so that's what I've been watching. As far as what I'm looking forward to, there are a few things that are already out, of course, that I desperately want to try. Baldur's Gate 3 being chief amongst them. I am chomping at the bit, grinding my teeth, wanting to play that game. I just can't get to it yet. And there's one that was just recommended to me by a friend of ours called Party Animals, which is supposed to be a kind of a party team-up game with all of your friends, kind of Fall Guys style. That's supposed to be very good, so I'm looking forward to that.
I think it's
As
like
far as-
box.
Yeah. As far as
I would-
upcoming games, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, I would love to get all of us together to play something like Fall Guys, Gang Beasts. I think Gang Beasts would be really fun with this crowd, especially with as competitive as all of us are.
Yeah,
The
Now, as far
kitty
as-
ears will come out.
yeah.
Okay, first off, do we all play against each other in this weird game? Never played
Yes,
it.
it's a
Yeah,
versus
Okay.
it's
kind
a
of thing.
straight up. They drop you in really weird.
So what do I get
like,
when I win?
arenas?
You get a
little
star.
screen. Yeah,
You
a
get
star comes
nothing
up and like
because
little
it's nothing
fireworks
happened.
go off, and you win. My favorite level is the frickin' falling hot dog factory.
Yeah.
Nice.
I look. Oh, don't dare. I
So
think
as far as
Dickens,
upcoming
I
video
know.
games go, I've only seen the trailer for it. I don't know much about it, but I'm looking forward to South of Midnight. It was one that its trailer came out during the big showcases earlier this year. It's got kind of a southern folklore kind of spooky vibe to it, and I'm very much looking forward to it. If it, you know what, that one, I'm just going to encourage you, go check out the trailer. It's worth the 2 minutes to get a vibe on this game. I think the art style looks beautiful. I think the stories they're going to be trying to tell are going to be awesome. The other one that I'm looking forward to, and I didn't get in on the kind of pre-game, beta test kind of thing, is called Nightingale. And Nightingale is supposed to be another one. It's a PC game where you can team up with your friends, but it's kind of a multiverse fairy tale folklore style game.
survival craft.
Yeah, survival craft, but in fairy tale worlds. And that one I'm unbelievably excited about. So
I do love survival crafting games where I can choose the level of intensity that I want to have at any given time. That's one of the reasons that Ark always just drew me in, because I could get in on Ark and just be like, I could go on a massive dino hunt, I could go massive dino taming, or I could pick flowers for 13 hours straight and just kind of like do.
It's Starfield.
I was going to say, my friends and I are starting up an Ark server on next Friday if you want to come arcing with us.
Ark?
Oh, interesting.
Ark to me is
they
that
just...
abusive, is the abusive ex that you always end up back at. Because I'm just like, no, I hate Ark. It's always unfair to me. And then someone's like, they released a new map and this one random dinosaur. And I'm like, well, I could go back to Ark. I'm sure it's sorry.
Yeah.
And then I'll get in and something ridiculous will happen. Like I'll get attacked by an underwater T-Rex. Like,
we're at least not playing on public servers. So,
oh, God, no, I don't play on public servers.
No, we only
what
played
happened
on
last time.
Which all of the official servers for Ark just got sunset. And they shut them down. So.
Well, it's because Ark 2 is coming out soonish.
Yep. I'm looking forward to Ark 2.
It's got Vin Diesel in it.
Yeah, I will admit, Ark is one of those...
Sure?
I'm not buying it now.
He's...
It's also why I won't buy a Honda
He's in the
Civic.
trailer, for the record.
He's one of the voice actors for a character in the game, because you're supposed to be able to come across, like, NPCs.
Yeah. Now, Ark is definitely one of those that I think was a really good idea. We've seen a lot of clones come out from Ark. And I loved Ark, especially in the earlier days. I think Ark was a blast. It is absolutely a toxic ex that you just cannot break up with. It's wildly abusive, and I think it got away with a lot of stuff because of its premise. Like, people want to talk about how many bugs are in Bethesda games and how much glitches we have and stuff. Ark is one of the most unstable games I have ever played. It is a nightmare.
Before they fixed the wall thickness issue, you could just basically build a little tiny box around wild dinosaurs and then just run up to it. It couldn't hit you because it's trapped inside the little building, but you could just shove a gun through the wall, like not a window, not a door, through the wall, and just kill the dinosaur on the other side. So people would just be like, I've killed 88 T-Rexes, and all you have to do is drop down 4 dino gates and then shoot.
Yeah.
I think
about right.
Yeah.
I feel like you can do that.
Super realistic. I can't count the
I've
number
seen
of times
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably do that in that movie.
My favorite thing is how much stuff weighs. So, like, cactus sap, 40 pounds for a full stack of cactus sap, right? A 20-foot-tall behemoth dinosaur gateway, same weight.
Yeah. Those are equal in my eyes.
Yeah, 20
you know what they should do?
Sap, same as a 40-foot-tall gateway. Same.
Fortnite and dinosaurs.
Same.
While you're killing each other, you have to worry about random dinosaurs eating you while you're killing each other.
You can.
I mean, at this point, do it.
Or are you pitching a new game concept?
New game. Fortnite meets dinosaurs.
That's what Ark is. Like, if you ever tried to get onto an official server, that's all it is.
Garrett, I can understand that game being daunting. There's so much labor involved. It's like having a second job. Like, if you have a very small clan, you're just like, I got to get on and I got to go hunt so I can feed everything meat, and I got to go pick berries so I got to feed everything. Then I need to harvest 480,000 fiber. So you're just out there picking like leaves till your fingers bleed. And then you're like,
digitally.
I want to play games that I can beat people and be better than. I need my NHL 24 is coming soon. Super excited. We'll be banned.
23 was super good.
2 months.
Like, mechanically speaking.
You're going to be banned?
Within 2 months.
Of course he will. Yeah.
He takes pride in this. Like, he's... the Eric is Toxic episode is going to have to be a series.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-parter at least.
Or just
I've never been banned yet. I got someone else banned, but I have yet to be banned yet. I'm pretty good. I usually turn the mic off if it's going to get too crazy.
If it's going to get too spicy, Eric knows to mute himself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The only time you're allowed to be really toxic in games is Call of Duty, because everyone else is.
League of Legends.
Halo 2 lobbies. League of Legends are super bad. Oh, God, I remember Halo 1 and 2 lobbies. I was like, man.
Forged in the Halo lobbies.
I was like, there's a lot of 12-year-olds with some very strong opinions in here.
Yep. And the worst part is right now they beat me all the time at these games because they're younger. So like it's like twice the abuse. So bad.
That's the last
At least
time
when I
all
was
of
in
us
my
were
20s, I could win. Now it's like, no, dude, I ain't got a shot.
The last time we were in a multi-person shooter game, Ryan and I, we kind of hit the same, like, I think I'm done with this forever moment when we got clapped by an 8-year-old who in the lobby at the end of it was like, I like playing against the old people, it's easier. I was just like, I'm out of here, man. Like,
So true, though.
like, I just got bodied for free for 30 minutes by a dude who can't even drive himself to the store. Like,
not even sure he can make his own lunch.
Yeah, like
there
he's
he is,
he's still getting the crust cut off of his sandwich. Like,
yeah,
I can't get a dub over this dude.
Dude's just mollywopping me.
Yeah,
that's why Call of Duty's so smart, man. Because the mics come on when you kill somebody, so you can hear like each other when you die. That's the smartest thing, and I don't know why more games don't do it.
Worst. That's the most toxic
worst
moment in my
part
life.
about that game.
That is so awesome.
There's been some fantastic moments in Escape from Tarkov through the proximity chat that have been absolutely amazing. Especially the guy that was running through the whole map to get like a special achievement or like a weekly bonus thing. Skyclad, right? He's just running in his chonies through the middle of the map going, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. And he's just running like full speed. And that was pretty funny because it's like he was in and out of that like whole lobby in like 2 minutes. People started escorting him like to keep the NPCs from doing damage to him because you can just get one shot at Escape from Tarkov, and so he's just going, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. And he had like 2 squads of people just flanking either side as like more people just ran in to protect this poor naked man.
Gamers supporting gamers.
The map. Yeah, I was like, this is the least toxic thing I've seen. He got to the extraction point, and then somebody, I don't know who it was. No, they didn't shoot him. He extracted, and everyone was like, yay, and they were doing like the victory emotes and things like that, and somebody just dropped a hand grenade and aced the whole room.
Yes!
Just, there was a real moment of happiness, and there was that one dude at the back was like, man, there's some good gear in here. Yeah, like,
yes.
I love that gamers will just come together for the dumbest shit. So like in World of Warcraft, there's like a pterodactyl mount, and it kind of like when it bounces, all you can think of is like that's like kind of how it bounces. I was just riding mine around Orgrimmar, and then all of a sudden, like a chain of them, and it was just me and 45 people just. And we all did it for 20 minutes, and I was just like, all right, we are here doing dumb things. I approve, but it's even then more gamer for somebody to be like, I'm gonna pull the pin on this.
Oh yeah,
there are 2 types of people in the world.
Yeah, like I said, that dude that dropped a grenade at the end of that video, I was like, good on you. Like, you just walked out with a ton of top level stuff. There's people with like NVGs and like super rare weapons, and like you can get cash and stuff inside the zone, which you can then spend on better gear. And that dude was just like about to be rich.
I mean, at least you didn't kill the guy they were guarding. I mean, let's all congratulate the upside. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah. He just slaughtered everyone after.
Here's another good example of there are 2 types of gamers in the world, right? Starfield. This is relatively spoiler-free, mild spoilers for random encounters that you can get. They don't mean anything to the story, right? There is a random encounter that you can get in the game while you're flying around in your spaceship that you jump in, and there's a ship called the Valentine, and there's a guy on open comms that is singing sea shanties. And he's very, very good. Fantastic songs. Does excellent. I've run into it a few times, and generally they're good enough where I will kick back and like do some scanning or something so I can listen to this guy sing. And you can talk to him and tell him he's a good singer and yada, yada, yada. And me and a lot of other gamers, especially on, online and on Reddit and that kind of thing, are like, I want this guy's stuff on like a Spotify playlist. Like, I just want to listen to it. And inevitably, 3 comments in, you get that one guy that's like, yeah, if you attack and kill him, his ship's like C-class in-game. Great stuff. And I'm just like, there's Eric. He's right there.
It's not a real person. It's an in-game character.
So yeah, 2 types of gamers.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
Eric's that dude that doesn't feel bad for the mean dialogue options in RPGs.
Right.
I don't pick them, though. I play the fucking hero every time, and anytime I want to play the villain, I start out mean, and then I'm like, I wouldn't really do that. And then I switch, and I'm like, I'm saving people. I do steal all their shit, but I save them, though.
I have a question for the listeners. Who has, I call it the Skyrim rage moment, when you're trying to do something, and then suddenly nothing goes right, so you just save real fast, and then massacre as many people as you can find, and then reload the save?
Yeah, just go full no Russian on a crowd of NPCs.
Yeah, like, because I've done that a lot.
I mean, I think...
Question.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that happens in a lot of games. Like, whenever you get to a point and you're like, I don't know what else to do. So you save and you kill everything, and just to see if you could do it. Especially games like Skyrim and like Fallout and stuff, because you're like, I wonder if I can take this whole city.
I got so frustrated
I do that in Baldur's Gate a lot. I'm like,
I got
hold
like
on.
8 fetch quests across the map from the same dude in the same town, and so I was just like, you know what? Save. Gives me the little saving icon, and then I was just like, activate mod, Kamehameha, activate mod, Bloodthirst, activate mod, Taco Bell Dragon.
Don't ever play Skyrim with more dragons. Oh my god, that was the worst mod I've ever downloaded.
The best mod for Skyrim is still Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
All right, guys, I am going to interject right here. We are at 85 minutes, and of course, we're coming up on the end of our episode, so thank you all for listening to us. I really appreciate it. If you have made it this deep into the episode, that means that you are liking what you're hearing, and if you want us to be able to continue to do this, please get onto whatever platform you listen to us on. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us some comments and interaction, and tell your friends to check us out. We are on everywhere you can get podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We are everywhere.
We're not on Kick. I'm not going to ever do that.
I don't know what that is.
Kick
on
still
Kick.
Exists?
Kick is... Yeah, but they just had a big scandal, too. People should look it up. It's
Shocker.
Crazy.
Anyway...
Fantasy Hockey League. Get in it. Crossing the Nerdverse. Winner's getting something sweet. I don't know what yet. We only got 3 of us. So, it's going to be a long fantasy hockey season.
How many people do you need to run a fantasy league?
So we're looking at 10. If I don't get 10, as long as I get 5 from the whatever at least, I'll open it up to randos. I don't want to because it's not as much fun to talk shit to people you don't know because they could be
I feel
younger.
Like that's most of what you do.
Yeah, it's like 90% of your personality.
Before we get back on that topic.
Anyway, so yes, do all the algorithm stuff, guys. Give us a like, give us a follow, tell all your friends about us, and check out our Fantasy Hockey League. It would be very much appreciated.
Yeah. And with free merch somehow.
And with that, we're going to bring this episode to a close. We've been crossing the Nerdverse. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
Ooh.
Stay toxic.
In my heart.